Where's Michael? You know when they brought it to the Isika, you are taking note of what DJ says. This publicity because how it is the issue is we will just show it, but then I see that so they could have come to us. This is what we want to do. So we want it to be for the size. Simple. That's just it. So we use all our handles and share. We just do a little put GG, the GG is going to be on
I came where you are happy. I'm always giving you. You are not doing anything. No. The most important partner, no sir. The most important is I'm always around. You are only talking to the lady. I'm always around. The only thing you are talking to the girl. That's the only thing I'm seeing on the screen. Should I describe what that? All the mics on. All the mics on. Yes, sir. You are ready, I'm ready. Yes, you are ready. Very ready. Okay, so go like.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon we are here for the sensitization meeting with bidding public and civil society organizations on procurement reforms. But before we go on, please can we be uprising for the first stanza of the national anthem. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will now go straight to the introduction. I would like to use this opportunity this afternoon to introduce the BPP team, but in view of that, I'll just introduce the DG in the person of Dr. Adebowale Adedoku. He's a fellow Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply. He's a chartered member of the Institute of Logistics and Transport. He's an associate, he's a member of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. Join me with a clap offering to introduce our DG. And this afternoon, we have his management team here to support him. We also have other senior directors. We also have other development partners here with us and other participants who are online. Let me use this opportunity to say the main reason why we are here. This meeting is to sensitize contractors and civil society groups on current procurement reforms and the benefits of them and the country at large, and also to inform them of their role in driving the reforms and secure their buy-in. Without much waste of our time, we will go straight to the agenda to give an overview of the meeting and objectives and expected outcomes. May I humbly use this opportunity to introduce the representative of the Director of Civil Infrastructure Department, who is unavoidably absent, in the person of Engineer Bakar Salihu. He is the head Agriculture and Water Resources of the BPP. So I'll give him this.
Sorry, Zira, let me quickly interject. The overview will be delivered by the Director in charge of Compliance Certification and Monitoring, please. Engineer Isaiah Yusufu.
Okay, thank you very much for that correction and observation. Thank you, sir. So I would like to use this opportunity to give our Director the mic so that he will give the overview. Thank you very much, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and those who are following us online. Thank you, DG. I'm going to give an overview of the purpose of this meeting. Distinguished participants, this session is part of the ongoing public procurement reform being led by the Bureau of Public Procurement under the MAPS assessment, which is a global framework for evaluating national procurement systems. Now, the key objective of today's meeting is to present the Bureau's current framework of procurement reforms and to hear directly from contractors and service providers on their experiences with public procurement processes. Now, this engagement provides a platform to validate current findings and identify practical ways to strengthen transparency, fairness, and competition across the system. We are hopeful that by the end of this session, we will gather useful insights and recommendations from the private sector that will help us and guide us on the next phase of the reform that are presently ongoing by the Bureau. So at this point, we encourage you, your contributions are valuable, and we look forward to hearing from you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, DG.
Overview. Without much waste of time, we'll go to the main reason why we're here. There's going to be a remarks from the Director General of the Bureau of Public Procurement, and it will be followed with his presentation. So, dear participants, please let's use this opportunity and listen well so that we'll get the DG's message. With due respect, sir.
Good afternoon,
fellow staff of Bureau of Public Procurement. Good afternoon to our colleagues who are online and physical. Those are the contractors, consultants, and service providers, and as well as the civil society organizations, both in Nigeria and across the world. We'd like to invite you to this very special first edition of our engagement with the public. Let me also acknowledge the very important technical assistance that we have been getting from our various development partners. I would like to acknowledge the contributions of PACE, the FCDO and UK International Development. I'd like to acknowledge the contribution and support from the very beginning of procurement reforms in Nigeria, the World Bank, African Development Bank. And just to mention these few amongst many, permit me to acknowledge the very, very insightful experiences that we have received, particularly from the PACE team. I want to say thank you for what you have done. It's been a remarkable journey in the last couple of months. I want to say a big thank you. Let me acknowledge again the role of contractors, civil society groups, service providers, professional bodies, the very, very distinguished members, honorary members of National Assembly. Let me also acknowledge the very unique role the accounting officers of federal government agencies for the tremendous impact they have been bringing to fore in the procurement reforms since our assumption of duty. I would like to also acknowledge the practitioners within the public sector and as well as in the private sector, particularly the procurement officers who are within all the MDAs under the federal government of Nigeria. And lastly is to specifically thank the president of our great country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and his entire cabinet for the support that they have given to us at the Bureau of Public Procurement to move public procurement reforms to, if not be the best in sub-Saharan Africa, but at least to be at par with the very best in terms of global acceptance and best practices in procurement reforms. The president is not only asking us to reform, but he realizes that to achieve its renewed hope agenda, procurement reforms is the cardinal basis for actualization of his renewed hope agenda. So, Mr. President, on behalf of the entire procurement family in this country, we want to say a big thank you, particularly for marshalling for the first time in over 20 years for us to be able to know where are we, where do we want to be in terms of procurement and how we bring value to the over 200 million Nigerians. Thank you for your leadership. And lastly, to give God Almighty the appreciation for allowing us to be alive in our time, in our season, to be able to provide the benchmark of our Nigerian procurement system would adhere to global practices and deliver good governance to the Nigerian people. Let me now go to my speech. Distinguished contractors, consultants, service providers, private sector partners, our contracting community, our colleagues within the civil society, non-governmental agencies, good afternoon. It is with great honor and deep sense of national purpose that I welcome you all to this first stakeholders engagement session convened by Bureau of Public Procurement, Nigerian Apex Institution for Promoting Transparency, Efficiency, and Accountability in the Conduct of Public Procurement and the Management of Public Funds. This gathering is being held within the broader context of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, which envisions a Nigeria where governance is transparent, institutions are efficient, and public resources are deployed to deliver measurable values to the people. Under this national vision, procurement reforms are not mere administrative exercises. They are instruments for rebuilding public trust, stimulating economic growth, and ensuring that every naira spent translates into tangible development outcomes. Today's meeting is focused on the ongoing methodology for assessing procurement reforms assessments and comprehensive procurement reform agenda, which is a critical milestone in this national journey. The MAP assessments and ongoing reforms are designed to provide the analytical foundation and evidence base for amending the Public Procurement Act 2007 to make it more attuned to modern realities, international best practices, and Nigeria's social economic priorities under the Renewed Hope agenda of Mr. President. Over the years, Nigeria's procurement reform journey has been characterized by strategic collaboration, capacity development, and institution building. The Bureau, in partnership with the World Bank and other development partners, has implemented landmark initiatives, including the Country Procurement Assessment Report 2000, which represented Nigeria's first structured attempt to develop a national procurement strategy, as well as the Public Expenditure Financial Accountability Assessment and the Economic Reform Governance Project. These collective efforts have contributed significantly to the evolution of our current reform framework and laid the foundation for sustained transparency and accountability in public procurement. We also recognize the early reforms of the DPSS office machine, whose initial contribution of procurement reform activity provided the intellectual and operational foundation upon which Bureau was later established. Since then, strategic initiatives, including the establishment of the procurement cadre, the approval of comprehensive scheme of service, and capacity development programs supported by International Law Institute and the ongoing SPACY project, have strengthened professionalization and ethics within the public procurement system. Under the Renewed Hope agenda, government institutions are being retooled to serve as catalysts for inclusive growth, job creation, industrial development, and fiscal discipline. The Bureau reforms directly aligns with these objectives by embracing competitiveness and value for money in public contracting. We are enabling use of public resources, thereby reinforcing Mr. President's commitment to responsible governance and economic renewal. Over the past months, the Bureau has taken bold steps to expand transparency, fairness, and efficiency in procurement processes, including wider access to opportunities, transparency and fairness, accountable redress mechanism, active whistleblowing and oversight, We have also introduced direct stakeholder communication channels with the DG's office, practical, responsive mechanism to ensure that genuine concerns from contractors, consultants, civil society operators are heard and promptly addressed. Our reform under the Renewed Hope agenda is structured around 6 thematic clusters, each designed to operationalize the Renewed Hope agenda within the procurement ecosystem. First, policy and legislative strengthening. We are working to develop a national procurement strategy as a unifying reform blueprint. Implement fully Nigerian First policy by promoting local production and as well as its content. Deployment of MAPS assessment as a global benchmarking tool. Review and propose amendments to the Public Procurement Act 2007 and its regulations. Continuous revision of the standard bidding documents and threshold for all arms of government. Community-based procurement guidelines to strengthen the 3 tiers of governance at the subnational levels. 2, inclusivity and sustainability. We intend to continue to pursue the goal of sector-specific and green procurement frameworks aligned with climate goals, affirmative procurement policies to promote women, youths, small and medium-scale enterprises, and those with disabilities. A food procurement framework supporting local agricultural linkages and food security. Thirdly, efficiency and value for money. We are currently working on improving our contractors, consultants, and service provider database with specialization in category management, price intelligence, and to ensure that we save more money for the Nigerian people for more national development. 2, finalize the department policy and as well a change management that will ensure discipline and reform adoption across all stakeholders. Fourthly, transparency, monitoring, and collaboration. As part of Mr. President's agenda is the full deployment and integration of e-procurement system with existing legacy systems. Stronger collaboration with our colleagues at the anti-corruption agencies, regulatory institutions with respect to beneficial ownership scheme for its transparency. Ladies and gentlemen, we're already currently working with Financial Reporting Council to ensure full implementation of this beneficial ownership scheme and Corporate Affairs Commission, to mention a few. Fifth is the professionalization and institutional ethics. Without doubt, one of the key reform areas is to fully deploy ethics and conduct frameworks for all practitioners. Also, automate our procurement audit system for real oversight. Sixth is the subnational and regional collaboration. Under this reform, we are harmonizing with our colleagues at the subnational level to have a framework that binds all of us together through the open contracting data system and provide a baseline for introduction and improvement of e-procurement system existing at the state level and full deployment at the national level. The MAP assessment, why it matters. Fellow participants, the MAP assessment is not just a diagnostic exercise. It is the foundation for evidence-based reform and legislative modernization. It benchmarks Nigerian procurement framework against global practices, best practices, highlights strengths and reform priorities and provides the empirical basis for amending up, I say proposed amendment to Public Procurement Act 2007 to reflect global standards and our national aspiration. It also demonstrates Nigeria's commitment to the Renewed Hope Agenda's governance pillar, which emphasizes transparency, accountability, and effective service delivery. Permit me to say at this junction, only a few days ago, I was at a meeting in Nairobi where maps was the key discussion among certain African countries. Let me state clearly that Nigeria is not doing badly in terms of benchmarking itself against other global I'm happy to report to you that Nigeria, we are moving on the right step, at the right direction. We only need to intensify what we have been done. Nigeria credibly performed at the event last week. However, to structure it, just like those other African countries have done, is to provide evidence-based. Yes, we have done a lot, but with maps, it will place Nigeria at the apex of procurement reforms in the whole sub-Saharan Africa and probably even global because of what we have been able to do in recent times. Today, stakeholders here present and those listening, our contractors, consultants, civil society groups, and Nigerian citizens are the lifeblood of this reform process. To you, contractors and consultants, your practical feedback will reveal to us policies and how it can be reformed, identify bottlenecks, and how efficiently we can improve our system. To those of you who are civil society organizations and non-governmental agencies, women groups, those vulnerable groups, and the likes, your monitoring and advocacy will ensure that transparency is not theoretical, but live. Your responses during and after this session, particularly through the MAP survey instruments that we'll be sharing with you, inform the direction of the reform and amendment process. In conclusion, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our collective mission goes beyond enforcing compliance. It is to inspire confidence in Nigerian procurement system. It is to further strengthen the foreign direct investments that is being drawn to Nigeria today and ensure that it serves as a pillar for good governance and driver of economic renewal. Through the Renewed Hope Agenda, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has set a national vision that demands efficiency, transparency, and results in every sector. The Bureau of Public Procurement, through the MAPS assessment and ongoing reform, is fully committed to translating this vision into practical outcomes by building a procurement system that works for everyone. Let me restate. BPP is not an obstacle. It is a catalyst, a partner for growth, a promoter of fairness, and a guardian of value for money in governance. Together, let us strengthen this partnership, contribute our perspectives, drive the modernization of Nigerian procurement framework towards the proposed amendments to the Public Procurement Act 2007. Let us build a system that reflects the renewed hope of our nation, a system anchored on integrity, efficiency, and public trust. I want to say thank you for listening, and I wish us a fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. The DG has made it clear. He said BPP is not an obstacle. It's a catalyst. a partner for growth, a promoter of fairness, and a guardian of value for money in governance. Thank you very much for that address, sir. We will now move on to the next on the agenda. We will use this opportunity to invite Mrs. Chioma Itodo. She will be presenting on questionnaires and expectations. She will also be presenting on the overview of the kind of information and survey seeks to elicit from them, and also how the survey will be administered and when it will be expected back. Let me use this opportunity with a clap offering to give Mrs. Chioma Itodo the chance for her presentation. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Director General, Bureau for Public Procurement. Please permit me to rest on existing protocol. Thank you. I would like the survey form to please be on the screen before I proceed. Okay. Just like the DG explained, the BPP is undergoing several reforms, and the Partnership for Agile Governance and Climate Engagement, a governance program funded by the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, is currently acting as a technical partner to the BPP in delivering these reforms. And to take this forward, the BPP is currently doing a baseline assessment, which should look at the entire procurement ecosystem to identify the strengths, the gaps, and the weaknesses of the system, which will now serve as a foundation for developing a new procurement strategy. And the basic tool that is being used is the widely globally recognized diagnostic tool called the Methodology for Assessing Procurement Systems Framework. And that tool recognizes significantly the role of key stakeholders in the procurement process, particularly the bidding public, which includes the contractors, the service providers, the consultants, and the civil society, recognizes the key role they play in that ecosystem in terms of ensuring and enforcing transparency and accountability. And we are relying on your feedback to help us improve the process. And it is to all our advantage to ensure that the procurement system at the federal level is transparent and everybody has a fair playing ground to participate. And please, you be rest assured that your response will be handled with the utmost confidentiality and no individual attribution will be made in the final report. We'll be going through just the key sections just to introduce what kind of information we'll be requiring and the expectations. Next, please. So as all surveys will always begin with, we have the general information, which just seeks to understand your organization. This is particularly for the bidding public. We have another one for the civil society organizations. So just to understand, you can see there is no mention of the name of your organization or any contact person. That is to show that we treat your confidentiality very, very seriously. So this is just to understand the nature of the organization. Please, if you could move up quickly. Thank you. The sector that you are operating in, and also the size of your organization, and how frequently you interact with BPP and other government agents, and then most importantly, your years of experience in the public procurement. Next, please. Now, these are the key sections, that the maps identifies and would assess to understand the situation within the procurement ecosystem. So we have the first one. Can you go back to the title, please? Thank you. So this is trying to assess the conflict of interest. What government is currently doing to avoid conflict of interest. So all the questions here, will try to assess the perception of the contractors, right? In terms of how the regulatory institution, in this case, the BPP, is free from conflict of interest, or what it does to avoid that. So that's what all the questions here will be focused on. We can go to the next just quickly so that. Okay, someone said I should talk to one or two of the questions. Let's go back to that. So I think I should actually use mine. So the first one says, would you say that the Bureau of Public Procurement is free from conflict of interest in the performance of its functions? This just requires you to say either a yes or a no. And for whatever response you give, we would please like you to give the reason. Next, please. And then it also seeks to find out if you have experienced situations where BPP faced conflict of interest, and then to give us specific situations. And then whether you believe that the BPP has a system in place to avoid conflicts of interest. So those kinds of questions. And if you do not believe that the BPP has a system in place to avoid conflict of interest, what would you suggest should be in place to enable it to avoid conflict of interest? Next, please. The second, section C, talks about publication of public procurement information supported by information technology. Yes, the world is going global, and currently the legal framework supports both manual and electronic, but we're trying to see what can we do to make the system easier for the vendors and for service providers. So this is asking, how easy is it for you to register as a vendor with BPP? It requires you to select any of them. Question 2 says, how long did it take you to obtain final approvals to register as a vendor? You take what is appropriate. How often do you as a vendor update your information on the database? So you're just trying to understand how the electronic system that BPP is adopting is working for you. And if it's not working for you, what can BPP do to make it easier for you? Next, please. The next is about tendering and bid management. It's all the whole 9 yards. The cycle, the 9 stages of the procurement process is being assessed here to see how we can make all the cycles be electronically enabled. So we go to the next. It goes all the way, contract and award. So we'll go to section D now, which is sub-indicator 10AA on the MAPS document, and it seeks to assess the perception of appropriateness of conditions in the public procurement market. So this is required, you're required to tick the appropriate option here, whether you strongly disagree, you agree, whether it's neutral or strongly agree. So looking at the entry requirements, are they appropriate and realistic, beginning with registration, certification, financial capacity? Then the tendering conditions, are they reasonable and achievable? The technical requirements in bids, are they proportionate to the project needs? Then the award criteria, are they objective? Are they relevant? Are they applied consistently to all bidders? Is there a fair playing field? The payment terms as well. Just go to the next page. I think I'm a bit fast. I'm using my system. Next. This is all assessing the digital readiness. Next. So this is where we are right now, yeah. So we're saying, let me start from the beginning from here again. This is trying to assess the perception of appropriateness of conditions in the public procurement market. And the requirement is to tick whatever option you believe presents your perception. Number one is the entry requirements. Are they appropriate? Are they realistic? Beginning from registration, certification, and even financial capacity. The tendering conditions as well, are they reasonable and achievable? Technical requirements in bids, are they proportionate to the project needs? The award criteria, are they objective, relevant, and applied consistently to all bidders? This is very important in terms of making sure that there's a fair playing field for everyone. The technical financial requirements, are they fair? And are they excessive or not? The payment terms, are they appropriate for sustaining business operations? Contract conditions, so all the way, the focus is to ensure that we capture your perception about the appropriateness of the conditions in the procurement space. Next, please. This is still a continuation of the appropriateness of conditions. If we could just go to the next one. Next, please, next. Okay, next again. It's all a continuation. So this tries to assess the effectiveness and efficiency of procurement appeals mechanism. Very important. When things are not working well, who do you run to lay your complaint? Who is there to give you a voice when things go wrong? So number one is trying to assess, are you aware that you can challenge procurement decisions? Have you ever challenged a procurement decision? Please, you can work with me better, thank you. Do you consider the Nigerian procurement appeals mechanism trustworthy? Then give reasons for your answer. And if you have if you have ever challenged a decision where the outcome's consistent and fair, what percentage of appeal decisions were posted on the central platform within the legally specified timeline? Next, please. This seeks to assess the effective sanctions and enforcement systems, right? So it tries to look at, on a scale of 1 to 5, how aware do you believe that suppliers and government officials are of the specific penalties, are aware, something is missing there, of the specific penalties for procurement-related offenses. Then you choose your options. Then consistency of application. In your experience, how consistently are legal penalties applied to offenders in the public procurement system? You choose what applies. Next, please. Deterrent effect. To what extent do you believe the existing penalties act as a credible deterrent against fraud and corruption in public procurement? So all the questions here are trying to assess the enforcement of the appeal system. Next, please. So section H is about anti-corruption framework and integrity training. He wants to know how effective do you think government anti-corruption measures how effective they are in reducing corruption. You will tell us what you think. Next, please go on, number 2. very effective or very ineffective. And in the past 12 months, sorry, they're moving faster than myself. In the past 12 months, we want to know if you have seen or heard about any anti-corruption actions by government, and if yes, how much confidence do you have that these actions will reduce corruption in public procurement? You can just run through. It's all trying to assess what the situation is in terms of anti-corruption measures. Next, please. So 14DE is talking about suppliers and business associations actively support integrity and ethical behavior in public procurement. So this is now back to you, the vendors and the service providers. It's not just the government that should be seen to be promoting integrity and ethical behavior. It wants to also know, what are you also doing in your own organization to promote and support integrity and ethical behavior? So we want to know, does your company have any formal documented internal policies or systems specifically designed to ensure ethical behavior and compliance with laws in its business operations, including public procurement? Next, please. And if yes, we want to know which of the following formal measures your company has in place. Is there a written code of conduct, the dedicated compliance officer? Do you have a mandatory anti-corruption integrity training for staff involved in bidding, and so on and so forth? Let's go to the next number. Then implementation and active use. It's not just enough to have it in place, to have the documents in place. What are you doing to ensure its implementation? So we want to know, how is the code of conduct ethics policy actively reinforced in your organization? Is it that new employees must sign it? Is there a regular mandatory training sessions? Is it a factor in your performance evaluations? Then in the past 2 years, has your company's internal system identified and addressed a potential integrity issue related to a public tender? Next. Collective action for integrity. So this goes beyond the individual businesses and also onto business associations. So this is the section for business associations. So in summary, you can go to the next slide, please. The MAPS is such a detailed diagnostics tool that does not leave any stone unturned. It seeks to understand what the space is, so that based on what you find out, you can now know what strategies, what initiatives should we put in place to ensure that we have something that can be at par globally with other climes. This is a general one. How important do you believe it is for a company to have strong internal compliance measures to be successful in public procurement in the long term? We can go to the next slide, please. Okay. So this will be the end of the questionnaire for the bidding public. And once you're done, you will be required to please submit. Your inputs is very crucial to us, to BPP in particular, and to everyone, for understanding and improving the integrity of the public procurement system. Thank you very much. We would like to go to the one for civil society. It's almost the same.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, actually. They're basically the same thing. But what the important thing is that we will please like you to take your time and respond as objectively as possible, knowing that confidentiality is of utmost importance. And we will be expecting your response between today, this week. Yes, this week. Thank you so much.
So permit me to interject here. Thank you for giving us the overview. But just to re-emphasize that we, BPP generally, and the system is constantly being awashed with complaints by bidders. Things are not being done well. We hear all sorts of complaints. Now, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to share with us how we can improve the system. This is the first, after the 20 years ago, this is the first action transparently, openly. Government is not afraid of being assessed. It's your opportunity. Otherwise, this exercise will not happen. Government is saying to all contractors, bidders, tell us how you feel about it so that we can then improve and also legislate or issue appropriate government circulars that will address some of your concern. Civil society, this opportunity for you now has been given to you. Take this opportunity so that we will then move into implementation and adjusting our system and processes. The era of complaining, we agreed. But now, a structured opportunity, global best practice has been brought to us, to our doorstep, virtually, without us having to control what you will say. Please feel free. Do this between now and Friday. Between now and Friday is the window for you to submit your position. And then we'll move. Let me make announcements. We're going to go the second phase until we at least achieve substantial percentage of the contractors nationwide, civil society groups, the vulnerable groups, everybody, country, let us know. President is interested in improving the system. After this, we'll collect all of this as part of the feedback for the amendment of the Public Procurement Act 2007, together with other parts of the Act, Finance Act. We'll be having harmonized version for legislation. And this is one of the key agenda of the Renewed Hope agenda. Fellow contractors, again, I am appealing to you. You have the utmost trust of government to make changes. So please share with us your thoughts, and we'll be able to take it up and address them in a systematic and analytical approach that is being done elsewhere. And Nigeria will also key in, primarily, so that Nigeria can further attract more support, more global presence, and even to reduce the challenges of insecurity is in our domain, is before you. History will ask you if you don't do it. That's the challenge I put to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We will now move to the next on the agenda, which is an interactive session, question and answer. So I will invite Engineer Joseph Ishima of the BPP to take that session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, DG. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone online. You're welcome. So at the moment, I think we'll have only one person. Maybe we should post him so we can receive them. There's only one question on Zoom at the moment. Are we ready? Okay. Can you get him? Yes, yes. Now, we are aware that others have joined via YouTube. On YouTube, you can type your questions. We'll get them here and read them so that the DG can attend to them, please. If you are joining on YouTube, you can type your question. We can, on the chat, yes, so that we can read them and the DG will attend to them, please. Yes. We can see two people, Architect Frank. Architect Frank. Can we take Architect Frank? Then Andrew is next. They should type.
Hello?
Hi, Architect Frank. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You are
Good
live
afternoon.
now. Please go on with your question.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm very
sir.
excited and grateful that BPP is making this effort on procurement, because I'm aware that government spends a lot of money on procurement.
Thank you.
Now,
Sir.
the first thing I want to know is, these reforms you are contemplating, will they not be based on the provisions of PPA 2007?
Okay.
And if they are to be based on it,
Yes.
are you why is it not that you amend the act as has been contemplated for more than a decade now?
Okay.
Each time the Senate, House, or National Assembly is thinking of making amendments,
Yes.
because there are so many things that need to be amended,
Yes.
so many provisions that need to be amended.
Yes.
And as long as that is not done, there will usually remain some problems, quite a number of problems on procurement. I am an architect, and I'm talking particularly about services, provision of services.
Services. Okay, sir.
Yes, architectural services, for instance.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that there are quite a number, even on quite a number of occasions, when there have been all these meetings to think on the amendments, in which one of which I had participated in 2019. The consultants brought up a lot of issues, and even on the drafts that come up, issues are not usually mentioned anymore.
Okay.
So I want to know, number one, has any amendment been concluded on 2007 Act?
Okay.
And
So sorry,
if
sir. So you're
any such
suggesting sorry, sir, you're suggesting that is it not better for the act to be amended before the reforms? Is that what you're suggesting? Is that your question, sir? Done yet. Architect Frank, it seems we've lost you. Are you with us?
Still with you?
Okay, okay. Okay, so that we can quickly have yours and go to others. Let's have the exact question. What is the exact question?
Let me intervene.
The exact question
Architect
we are
Frank,
reforms.
can you hear me,
All right.
Architect Frank?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
That's why we have invited you to this session. The whole
And
essence
that's why I'm here.
is that we want you to look at the form, the survey given to you. Please give us all those things that you think we need. This is the first time we're doing a systematic approach to amendments. No amendment has been done. Let me clarify that. Attempts have been made. None has gone beyond attempts. Yes.
Okay.
What we're doing now is, for the first time, there's a synergy between the executive and the legislature. There's a total synergy, but we're doing a pragmatic approach. I hope you understand me, architects. By having data, before there were no data. Right now we're doing proper analysis that has been done globally. So even when the amendments will eventually be done, it will be based on statistics, analytics, and informed position. So we're just appealing to you, take a look at this survey.
Question, yeah.
Help us with your years of experience. I'm sure I can recall your name now, but I'm sure I can. Yes, I'm beginning to realize who you are. Please, can you take your wealth of experience and fill the survey form. It will help us as the baseline for how these amendments will be done. And you are a critical stakeholder. Contractors, you are the ones in the field. We feel what you feel. But I mean, they said is the person that you will know, the person that the, what do you call it, where the shoe pinches you are the one that knows. So we as a regulator is to get your pains and put it together for appropriate action to be taken globally. I hope that's well understood.
How
Thank
do we
you.
get the forms to fill them? Yes.
No, they will send it to
the links will
your
be sent to you.
email.
Yes.
If you have your
Okay.
email, we will be sending the form to you immediately or before the end of.
Okay.
You'll get the form. Personally, I'll be looking out for you. If I don't get your report, your survey, then I'll come to your office.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Architect Frank. It's been nice having you. All right. So let's take the next person. There was a second person. Andrew.
Yes, Andrew.
Andrew, you're
Yes.
welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and the procurement team.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for the effort so far. My name's Andrew Orlando Waikina. I'm calling you from Budget Foundation.
Okay.
I wasn't too okay because of the network from my end. I didn't actually get to the presentation by your team, but even at that, we'll still be presenting our position from now. In fact, before Friday, which you've also highlighted.
Okay.
I just want to say that it is it's quite imperative that bidding should be made digital. So as to build confidence among the people. There's also need to let everyone have access, to the process.
Okay.
And then I also want to say that beneficial ownership should also be made public.
All right.
It should be made public so that every contractor should be made public. But my question is this, just to bring to your notice that the National Council on Procurement has not been set up by the president up until now, and we're hoping that your office can push, so that that council can be set up, because it's contrary to the provisions of the Procurement Act. So, what are you actually doing regarding that?
All right. Thank you very much, Andrew. Did you respond to you now?
Okay. Mr. Andrew, am I correct? Can you hear me?
Very correct, sir. You're very correct.
All right. Your observations and your comments are well noted. What I will say again, fill that form. Fill that survey form. Even the council you have mentioned, the government will take appropriate action following the amendments because there are conflict of interests that are in there, and like I said, the president is now interested in clarifying those conflicts, and thereafter, together with National Assembly, the actions will be taken. But do your part by filling the survey. When you do it, it will help us. Okay? But BPP is in the forefront. That's why we are doing this reform, is to implement fully the provisions of the Act after due amendments. And we're working closely with the Attorney General of the Federation to ensure that this comes quickly, faster than you can imagine. Okay?
All right. Thank you, DG.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. So we'll move to Ahmed. Ahmed Kabir, are you still with us? Ahmed?
Yes, very well. Thank you for
All
your.
right. Good
Yes, I
afternoon
am.
and
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity, and I mean, it's something that we had actually been yearning for. I'm a quantity surveyor in private practice.
Very good.
And my comment here will just be a feedback on the current revised standard bidding document, particularly as it relates to consultancy.
Okay.
I know during the consultations, there was the issue we raised about some little confusion, possibly will get clarified here, between what the regulation for services stated the fact that some of the older documents that were retired for consulting are still going to be used for some smaller assignments. And then, of course, there is also another document, the revised for the consulting assignment. I think as at that time, we didn't have so much clarity when we attended that consultation. Then the second issue is the issue of the framework agreement. I mean, we noticed there was an introduction of framework agreements for the other categories, but for consulting, framework agreement was never introduced. And I don't know whether we are being selfish, but we feel possibly the consultancy even needs the framework agreement much more than the other categories of procurement. Lastly, has to do with the issue of how consultancies are still being priced at the MDAs, because possibly there is a shift from what we used to know on the percentages. I think till date, we are still having difficulty in how the MDAs also approach the pricing of consultancy, how sometimes also the consultant hardly understand the rationale behind the competitive process and how we continuously underprice those services in connection with the MDAs. I feel the regulator can actually help that particular category by giving more clarity into these issues. Thank you very much. The opportunity is well appreciated again.
All right, thank you. DTG will attend to your questions now.
Sorry, Architect Kabir, can you hear me?
I can't, sir. QS, sir.
No, QS, sorry. In fact,
Yes,
I'm looking
sir.
for you. I'm looking for you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. I will visit you, sir.
Everything you have said, I'm looking for you. Come with a position paper for me.
Okay, sir.
When? Tomorrow?
I'm writing MSc exams in procurement.
You have passed
I'm a student
already.
in space.
You have passed already.
Thank you.
But
Thank you,
on
sir.
a more
So,
serious note, let's have what you've said is critical to our operation. And we acknowledge some gaps in the revised bidding document. Please, when you are through with your exam, kindly avail us with some documentation so that we can again revise it as long as it's within reasonableness. But for beyond that, make sure for you to pass your exam, you must fill this survey form.
I will, sir.
Plus, I'll be marking your script.
I will fill it.
Part of your success is when you fill this form.
No problem. I will have to fill it, sir, because I'm interested in the maps. Possibly
Yes.
it will be my thesis. I'm trying
fantastic.
to look at that and linking it with top national.
That's very good. Well done. If you want to pass, fill
Thank
the
you.
survey form. If you don't want to pass, don't fill it. I'll be watching
you,
for
sir.
your script. I'm sure you know.
Okay, sir. I know, sir.
So I'll go and look for your script. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, QS Ahmed Kabir. Thank you for your question and thank you for your attendance. We have a question on Zoom, right? Can you project? Okay. Thank you. So the question here says, in light of the ongoing procurement reforms and the MAPS assessment process, what mechanisms are being put in place to improve transparency, access, and inclusiveness, particularly for emerging construction firms, regarding bidding opportunities, tender registration, and timely dissemination of available projects? Mohammed Ibrahim sent in this.
Well, thank you, Mohammed Ibrahim. Can I say, propose what should be done? That's why we have brought you here. However, if you check the tenders journal of in recent months and the one of last year, you will see significant improvement in the advertisement of projects. Two, BPP is now more in the public, doing public enlightenment advocacy to ensure that MDAs comply. But it will take a while to get to where we want to get to. With your cooperation, the system will get better. But also you to do your part by filling the survey form. If you don't do it, then you are not ready for the change. Okay? Is that clear?
All right. All right. So we got it from Zoom, so I'm sure he's listening. Thank you for your question. We'll go to the next one. Please, let's have it projected. All right. This is from Faith Wadishi. Faith says, if the company's form is the same with the CSO's form, the section on conflict of interest, does it carry the same definition and concept, or there are a few differences? She wants to know. Let's have it. The question should, let's look at the question.
Again.
If the company's form is the same with the CSO's form.
Okay, I got your question. Do you have the survey form already?
It was typed, so I don't know.
Faith, what I mean is, have you seen the survey form? If you have not seen it, can you, when you look at it, if there are differences, get back to me. Okay?
Yes.
If you think there are differences or it's saying the same thing, let us know. But make sure you have the survey with you first.
Very good.
Faith.
Yes, I'm already going through the survey form.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please check it. If you think, you know, you are my partner, Faith, you know I know you now. I trust you, so please check it, and then if there's need to amend the form, we'll do that real time. Thank you, Faith. I've not seen you yet on your visits.
Yeah, I'm planning to come, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Faith.
Sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
I'll get back on this, sir.
All right. This is from Bolo. Bolo says it will be good to predefine conflict of interest.
Well, I'm sure we've taken notes, but you can also define it the way you like.
Just give us
your own perspective. The whole thing is but it's defined.
It must be standard.
In the maps. In the maps documents. Document
yes, so this must be communicated to your contractors so that when they are responding to that question, they are using your definition. So we don't have a lot of responses from various definitions.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
I'm a risk professional. What we do is standardize.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Even you two have not seen
you. I didn't get that, did you, sir?
I said even you yourself, I've not seen you.
Noted, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. No other question yet? None. We're still waiting. If you have any questions for the DG before we move to the next segment. Not yet. All right.
Mr. Oshoba, I can see Mr. Oshoba hands on.
Sunday. Okay. Mr. Sunday Oshoba, are you still there?
Thank you so much.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I just wanted to provide, prior to the receipt of the questionnaires, I wanted to provide some perspectives regarding some of the questions that members of the audience asked. With regards to conflict of interest, this is particularly about BPP and its agents. So it's not the broad definition of conflict of interest. For example, with regards to BPP, it's about that a conflict of interest for a procurement regulatory body occurs when individuals or organizations involved in the procurement process have personal or financial interest that could influence their decisions, potentially leading to unfair outcomes or favoritism. First, you are looking at a situation where they have personal relationships. You are looking at a situation where they have personal financial interest. You are looking at bias, and then you are looking at undue influence. So conflict of interest is broad. It could result to, it could arise from conflicting roles and all that. But here it's very specific about what these questions are about. The other one is that the questionnaire for both the bidding public and CSO is the same. Is the same because you are responding to the same criterion in the month's assessment. Now, somebody asked a question about KYC in the financial sector. That is, know your customer. What BPP is doing is broader than knowing your customer. In the financial sector, you do continuous assessment of your customer to identify potential risks associated with such individuals. Yeah. But here, it's not just about the risk that bidders could pose to the procurement system. It's also about identifying or trying to make a determination about their capacity and capability, which is evolving every day. If you have done a job with, if a bidder, for example, a contractor, executed a contract last year and had average turnover of 4 billion, that could have transformed to 8 billion in another 12 months. So what BPP is doing with the contractor database is actually to do a continuous update. Contractors, consultants, and suppliers are supposed to do that individually. It's for your own personal interest to update your profile in the BPP website so that once they are not doing categorization of contractors and suppliers and consultants, they know where to upgrade. If
That's
you
true.
do not
You're fading out, Mr. Sunday. We can't hear you clearly. But,
information,
okay.
Even if it is on a daily basis or monthly basis.
All right.
It's electronic based. So whatever the updates that you provide will be real time. So those are the few clarifications I need to provide.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Sunday. Thank you for your additions. Yes. Do we have any other question? Okay. Can I see them, please? Ayodele Faleye. Can we have you, please? Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Please
Good afternoon.
confirm you can hear me.
You're welcome. We can hear you.
Yes. I want to appreciate the Bureau once again for this very incredible opportunity to engage with the private sector.
Thank you, sir.
My name is QS Ayodele Faleye, a practicing quantity surveyor and procurement specialist. My first comment, question is about the connection between business sustainability and diversity and inclusion of new business enterprises. What I've observed in recent years is the Bureau has not played a cardinal role for sustainability of enterprises. And this is what I mean by that. The procurement policy can be developed in such a way that enhance the continuous sustainability of a business. If you go to other markets, we have companies that have been in existence for more than 50 years, some more than 100 years.
Yes.
And what I realized here is, and I will want you to possibly do a desktop study on it. When there's a new political cycle, you see the registration of new business enterprises that are directly servicing political players. And that's thereby undermine businesses that have been in place over the years. And the reason is because it is easier for them to register, then begin to leverage on the political interest to get new role. I think the bureau can play a critical role so that we have enterprises across multiple sectors, insurance, banking, construction, engineering, who have been in business for years and they have developed qualitative service and that stand them out and they enjoy public patronage from MDAs.
Okay.
And the data you can get it from CAC.
Okay.
Let's say when there's election cycle, what is the rate of registration of new businesses? And when the election cycle is off, what has been the rate? That's my first comment.
Okay.
The second comment is about diversity and inclusion. Beyond gender diversity, there should be diversity across each grouping. Maybe businesses that have been registered within 5 years, within 10 years, then they are given some level of measure to enjoy patronage from public agencies. That is very important to distribute wealth and to ensure social equity. Beyond this, and this will be my last question, is about the new standard bidding documents, especially for services. QS Ahmad Kabir touched a part of it, but there's another angle to it. I think my complaint recently have interfaced with some MDAs, which I would with all their names.
Okay.
What we realize is, because especially for construction consulting roles, because of the our approach from not charging based on percentage of contract sum, which doesn't actually derive value on projects. But a good number of these MDAs, when they are sending their term of reference, the quality of project description and scope analysis is not detailed enough for consultant to price it. So you want to build an auditorium. The details could be as various as anything. And it is at that point you are asking the consultants to price their fee. Many times they price extremely high, and many times they equally price extremely low. I think there's a need for the Bureau to do more in this regard, possibly to ensure a better resource engagement within these procurement departments, so that we can get better outcomes contracting consulting services. But once again, I want to commend you for efforts. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The DG will respond to you now.
Okay. Again, QS, am I correct? QS Ayodele, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're correct, sir.
Thank you very much for your intervention. I think your points have been noted, but let me just clarify. That's why you need to, this engagement has to be sustained. For instance, we have a database called contractors, consultant, and service provider database. We've been on, for over the years, we've spent more time on the registration. But there are two major components, classification and categorization, which would have solved some of the issues you raised. And I believe that come 2026, we would go full-blown with that data. Contractors of equal competencies. It doesn't matter whether it's 10 years or 30 years. The important thing is that it's a combination of how many jobs you've done, your personnel, and it's going to be your responsibility to update your company profile on the database. And that's where we're going. Don't forget, there's Nigerian First policy that President has launched, which is saying give preference to Nigerian companies where they have advantage. We should, but all of this will come together. You will begin to see the benefits as we enter into the full implementation. And this mapping or these maps is also an opportunity for you to share some of these things you have said in the feedback we're going to get from you. With respect to the issue of what MDAs are doing, BPP is now trying to do more of education, training, and then come up with standard templates. Some of these things require standard templates that we have to give to this MDA. But you know, we have to do it gradually because we're just reforming. And I will also request you to send in a position on some of the things you have said. I hope, Mr. Aidele, you can do that. I'm sure you heard me. I look forward to receiving from you a kind of a concept note on some of the issues you have raised. But please fill this form. Fill this survey form. Fill it. If you don't fill it, even God will hold you accountable. And your children too. Your children too will say, what did my father do when the opportunity was given to him?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, DG. Thank you, Mr. Ayodele Faleye, for your question and for being present in this meeting. There is a question we got that I'll read from here. This is from architect Frank Ezenyagu. Okay, but this is another one.
Well, these are all part of the feedbacks that would include in all the reviews and proposals for either the standard bidding documents or those that need to go into regulations or the ones that need to be put in the act itself. So thank you for this.
Thank you. So
but if you have a classical case, if there's any MDA that has been violating, please contact me directly so that I can do the needful. It's part of the survey. I will take action immediately.
Thank you, DG. So let's go to the next question. He says, can I read from here? The PPA 2007 appears ambiguous. Okay, that's on the consultancy. Oh, no. Okay, that's fine. Any other one? All right, none. So maybe we'll hold. Thank you very much. Thank you, participants. I think I'll hand over to the MC now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joe.
Sorry, there's a last one that I just put in now, sir.
Okay. Can we have it on?
Okay.
She says, sir, regarding the update of the company profile, most companies would not update information where they are facing challenges and or bankruptcy. To get the quality of clean data, we, BPP, require we should set certain parameters for update by companies and at prescribed times.
Instance, those people who are insolvent, bankrupt, cannot even bid for projects. However, we have an engagement with Corporate Affairs Commission. We'll take this feedback because that's their responsibility to clean up. For BPP, what comes out from CAC is as good as unquestionable. That's BPP's role, is to take whatever we receive from CAC as sacrosanct. We have no business in querying whatever comes out of it. But this feedback, we'll take it back in our consultative meeting with Corporate Affairs Commission. Okay?
Thank you,
Thank
DG.
you very much, DJ.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Joe. Okay, there's another question again.
Is that it? How does this is from Nino Charity. How does the BPP intend to support new and small companies in meeting eligibility criteria for government contracts? Many of these firms are often discouraged by the financial requirements stated in adverts for most startups from participating.
Okay, you are in the spirit. The government, any moment from now, we have some procurement systems that is geared toward addressing what you specifically mentioned. I think we're entering exciting times. The president is fully aware. We have what is called, again, community-based procurement. That's one. Where certain conditions will be waived in the interest of these groups. But I will not say much on that, but I think you should be on the watch out for some major paradigm shifts addressing small scale businesses, all the people you have, and I'm sure if you watch, the Minister for Power recently also said to us in the power sector that certain things is being put in place, subsidy, or certain things will be waived for some level of Nigerians so that they can enjoy power supply in terms of funding. But in procurement, I want to assure you that very soon we're launching some major policy framework that will give that level of support to the small and medium scale businesses, the vulnerable groups,
and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Just keep feeding us with your information, suggestions. We are an organization that is interested in your well-being. We want you to succeed. We want Nigerians to own businesses in this country. If you look at the road sector, things are happening.
Yes.
A lot of Nigerian farms are taking a lot of road projects in the country. We are competing with the foreigners. Some of these companies are even leasing equipment to others. Nigerian companies have equipment that is enabling them to do high-profile jobs. These are major changes that has happened in the last 1 year plus. So keep coming. Keep coming. You will get there. Soon, Nigerians will be the best for their country. But you must comply. The issue is that, are you also ready? Are you registered? Are you complying? Are you modernizing? How many of you have good governance structure in your offices? How many of you have good financial system? How many of you have signed the code of conduct? Good ethical practices. These are issues. But the president and all the entire cabinet in all sectors, road, power, agriculture, these are the next line of where procurement will be made easier. Quote me, procurement will be made easier for these various groups that you have mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you, TG. Thank you very much. Now, we're told there's one more question, sir. Dear DG, the sections C and D and the overall assessment is mainly between MDAs and private sector. CSOs filling this form may have more of neutral responses, as we may not be able to respond on behalf of the private sector or MDAs. This is from Faith Wadishi.
Well, I think that's good, fair enough. It's good enough.
Okay. Faith. So that's fair enough. Digi says it's fair enough. Thank you. That's all. One more. Engineer CG Jula. He says, what are the efforts of BPP to encourage small-scale professional services in terms of registration in consultancy opportunities within the institution?
Again, I think I've answered this
I think
question.
DG has addressed that.
That very soon we'll be releasing some major policy reforms that will address some of these things. I would not say more than that. But before you hear me, fill this survey form.
Yes.
Fill it, fill it, fill it. If you don't, then you are also creating a problem as part of the problem of our procurement in this country.
Thank you. Thank you, DG. Thank you. That's all. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Joseph, for that session. The take home here, in the words of the DG, contractors must comply. Contractors should fill the survey forms. That is the way forward. So I like to use this opportunity with the two words of the DG that I've mentioned to our dear participants to comply. So we'll now move on to the vote of thanks by the legal advisor to the DG in the person of Barrister Ahmed Shehu Mainasara. He will be giving us the vote of thanks on behalf of the BPP. Barrister, you can go on, sir.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, my name is Ahmed S. Mainasara, the legal advisor to the Bureau for Public Procurement. Distinguished participant, on behalf of the Bureau for Public Procurement, I sincerely want to thank every participant for your time, contribution, and constructive engagement throughout this session. Your feedback the feedback, which is the questionnaire, will play a key role in strengthening the ongoing procurement reform process and improving collaboration between the Bureau and the private sector and in fact the civil society. As we continue to map the assessment and other reforms, your partnership and commitment remains essential in building a more transparent, competitive, and efficient procurement environment in our nation. May God bless you. Thank you for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. DG, sir, with your kind permission, as we round up this online meeting, we would like to take the third stanza, which is our prayer, as we close for the online meeting. Please, can we be up standing? Media. Dear participants, we have come to the end of this online meeting. See you next time.
All right. Please, let me have your attention, please. Want to go? Okay, drink water. Please give us water. Okay, can we just have a few minutes, please? Our partners. Okay, so good afternoon, my colleagues. I hope we are good. And also, I want to thank our team from FCDO. Thank you.
I think to the organizers, both from the